Dominated in week 4 with the win. Here's John Harbaugh on what he's seen from Pittsburgh since then.
Well, they've won 3 in a row. You know, they're playing really well. I think they're not giving up the big plays like they did a little more earlier in the year. They've tightened up that part of it. They've talked about that. I've seen that. To me, they're playing Steeler football in that sense. They're playing hard defensively. They've made big plays on offense. They're running the ball very well. That's probably the biggest thing that sticks out. You know, they've got James Conner really rolling. Offensive line is healthy with DeCastro back there. So they're the same team that we've seen over the years. They're playing very well, and that's where they're at.
All right, a lot's happened, though, gentlemen, since week 4. So the Ravens beat the Steelers back then, but since then, these two teams have headed different directions. Steelers 3-0, scoring over 30 points a game. The Ravens have lost 3 of their last 4. The Ravens defense took round 1. Now it's round 2 of this rivalry. Who wins the matchup between, let's just make it a little bit more micro, the Steelers offense and the Ravens defense on Sunday?
It's the Steelers offense. You look at that offense, and they have a handful of Pro Bowlers. It starts with Ben Roethlisberger. You have Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. Of course, James Conner, and the way he's running, you got to put somebody on an offensive line in the Pro Bowl. And yes, I did say James Conner is a Pro Bowler because he's playing like one of the best running backs in the league. This isn't a charity case. Oh, let's wait until Le'Veon gets back. Can't wait for him to snatch that starting position, and James Conner's going to sit on the bench. No, he is your starter, and I don't care if Le'Veon gets back. That's how well he's running the ball. This is trouble for anybody in the league, any defensive coordinator is planning to play against the Steelers, because if James Conner is running the ball the way he's running, putting up 200-plus yards from scrimmage, and then you got Antonio Brown on one side who's just now heating up. Juju Smith-Schuster is playing like he's been in the league for 5 years, and Ben Roethlisberger is playing with some of the most talent he's ever played in his career. Yeah, no question this is Steelers offense is going to win.
I'm going to go Steelers offense, too. I'm on the Steelers right now. I had a little, on the long flight back from London, I had a little movie marathon. I watched this movie, A Quiet Place, which I think some people have seen.
Yeah.
The whole point of the movie is you got to stay completely quiet or the monsters run out of the woods and eat you. It's terrifying.
Not a good movie.
It's tough.
Pick.
But I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers are the monsters. Like in AFC North, just keep quiet, all right? Don't wake up the Steelers. The Browns are doing the things, the Ravens, the Bengals. All of a sudden, the Steelers go into their bye. They come out. They beat the Browns. They get the coach fired. They don't miss the playoffs. They don't have bad seasons. I feel like the little kid with the rocket put the batteries in it, and the Steelers have run out now, and they're awake, and I'm riding the Steelers. They never have bad seasons.
And on the plane, I watched a movie that was called Dunkirk, and it was just bombs everywhere. There was army. There was fighting. And that, to me, is the Ravens' defense right now. Call to arms, guys.
Okay.
Like, last time you played the Steelers, it was in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night, and you whooped their butts. And then since then, you've lost to the Browns.
Yeah.
You've let the Saints come and do whatever they want in your building. And then last week against the Panthers, a game that was not only on national TV, but international TV. I was watching the international NFL channel in my hotel room, and all I'm seeing is Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton go up and down on this Ravens vaunted defense.
Right.
Ravens defense, Dunkirk. How about you have your battle and you finally find a way to get it done? Because guess what? No one remembers the first time you played. They'll remember this one.
I think I drank like 4 mimosas and watched The Lion King. What are these two doing?
Sure.
You guys are doing plane rides wrong.
I have to call out Strager. Strager's full of crap. I looked over his shoulder. He was watching the First Wives Club. Peter, that's how he gets. He was crying. Bridges, Madison.
I did watch a Queen documentary and thought of you. You would have been proud of me.
Oh, yeah? We're going to have the interview this week,
It was
tomorrow.
excellent. Tomorrow, you sat down with the entire Queen.
The whole cast of Bohemian Rhapsody. We're going to run it tomorrow. It's really cool.
Love that. You mentioned James Conner. The only thing, I mean, he had 19 yards the first time these two faced each other in week 4. Ravens run defense super stout, but he's had 300-yard games in a row since. So we'll see. That's what the matchup I'm sort of looking at, because whoever has success, I think, takes the win in this rivalry. All right, the last matchup we're going to dig our heels into here. 2 of the best offenses in the league going at it in the Big Easy. This game's going to be amazing. Here's Sean McVay discussing what makes Drew Brees so special.
His command, his presence is incredible. You know, they've got a bunch of different personnel groupings that they can present on those early down and distances. They get in and out of the huddle with tempo and urgency. He's recognizing defensive structures, enabling them to get into the proper plays. I think they've got a great balance of run and pass. And then obviously, Drew, in terms of just the timing, the rhythm, the accuracy, and the anticipation, you know, he's one of the best of all time at that.
You can't help but turn on the film and be intrigued by the things that they're doing. And obviously Jared Goff is playing as well as anybody right now. He's got a bunch of weapons at the receiver position that are lighting it up. Todd Gurley, one of the best backs in the league. You know, I mean, just it's the complement of all those guys and the way they play together, and obviously the scheme and what Sean McVay's doing. And so there's a lot that goes into that, and they all deserve a ton of credit.
This game's going to be wild. I cannot wait. Looking at the highest rating passers in the league over the last 2 seasons, no surprise to see Mr. Drew Brees at the top of the list. But did you guys know Jared Goff is right after him at number 2? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the quarterbacks off of it.
Okay.
Both of them are crushing. So aside from Brees and Goff, which player is most likely to dictate the outcome of this game, Kyle?
You know, it's almost impossible to pick who the best player is in this game from top to bottom, but I'm going to take a shot, and I think it's Aaron Donald. I think it's going to be him, and I think we're going to have Drew Brees make one mistake. It's going to come from up the middle. I also look at the guy who's wielding Aaron Donald. I'm looking at Uncle Wade Phillips, and this could be one of his greatest accomplishments, going against Brees in his MVP season on the road. Also, if I'm Wade Phillips, I'm like, Drew Brees is great. I've coordinated against Montana, Stabler, Moon. Look me up. I've seen a lot of Drew Brees before, and I think Aaron Donald up the middle in his face is the only way you get Brees to make a mistake.
Wade Phillips saying, look me up.
Look me up. We're having this historic quarterback season where every quarterback is putting up these crazy numbers, and yet my MVP 8 weeks through the year is Mr. Todd Gurley.
Talk about
it.
it.
I think Todd Gurley has had several national televised games.
Talk about it.
Nothing with the spotlight like this one. Into New Orleans, in the Dome, with that crowd and with that opposing team and coach of Sean Payton calling plays on the other side. To me, Todd Gurley is on an MVP torrid pace in the year of the quarterback. It is such an anomaly to see what he's doing at the running back position during this season, and I think he's just getting started. We celebrated him going down and not going into the end zone and making the smart play last week. I think he gets into the end zone, and I think he gets into the end zone plenty of times this week. So fantasy owners, don't lose your sleep over Gurley not getting you in that score. He's going to get so many in this one. I think this is the Todd Gurley experience. I think he's going to have a day on Sunday.
Again.
Are you sounding like Rams big in this game? It sounds like
we got 2 days to hype it.
All right. Okay. Sounds
I'm
like
right there
it,
with you,
Peter.
bro.
In New Orleans,
I'm right there with you. I like that.
We'll go down as the TGG, the
What?
Todd Gurley game.
Hey,
That's all I'm saying.
Todd Gurley gang. All
right.
All right, so listen, for me, I'm looking at a player, not necessarily a player on the field, but I'm going to go with Sean McVay, one of the youngest players in the game.
man.
And for me, when you're a young coach in this league, it's kind of like being a little brother. I was a third in line, and I got confidence as I got older, of course. I got confidence when I started playing sports, but my confidence boosted up when I was able to beat my older brothers in something. It could have been anything from a war game to racing outside, basketball, football, whatever it is. The moment I started beating my older brothers or people that were older than me, that's when I leveled up in my ultimate confidence. So Sean McVay, everybody's saying, well, Sean McVay going up against Sean Payton. Oh, I don't know if he can do this. Let me tell you all the coaches he's beat since he's been in the league so far. We're going Pete Carroll, Bill O'Brien, Bruce Arians, John Gruden, Mike Zimmer, Mike McCarthy. You know who else is on that list? Sean Payton. So he's not worried about being the young pup anymore.
He's done it already.
He's been doing it already. So I'm good. Everything that you're saying about this young coach going into these crazy places and loud noises and you got geniuses on the other sideline, he's sitting back looking in the mirror like, no, I'm the genius, fam. So I'm looking at Sean McVay going up against Sean Payton saying, let me teach you how to do this. I'm the new generation of head coach.
of course you picked Sean McVay because I picked Sean Payton. I need Sean Payton to go out there, dictate the outcome of this game by dictating his aggressiveness early. I need him to prove he's the better Sean. And if you're Sean Payton, you just keep doing what you've been doing. Kick it back to week 8 up against the Vikings. This is aggressiveness from the jump. First quarter, he lines up Taysom Hill. He's going to run, right? Everybody expects him to run. 44-yard bomb to Michael Thomas, and nobody saw that coming, and I love that he set the tone early against those Vikings. Week earlier against the Ravens, opening drive, what does he do? Hit it, fake punt to Taysom Hill, picking up the first down. It's his early aggressiveness that he's showing to set the tone that I love. We all know that he's a coach that can do this week in, week out, and especially in big moments like the Super Bowl, for instance. Super Bowl 44, Saints, of course, down 10-6 at the half. Yep, playing the Colts. What do? Onside kick.
Hank, just catch it.
They score on the next drive. They go on to hoist the Lombardi. Be the better Sean. This is a coach that uses his passion, his emotion, his things get to him.
Is that
right?
what you call it?
Things get under his skin. He sometimes lets that infiltrate his play calling. I'm okay with that happening against Sean McVay because I think with the playmakers that they have, it can only work to his advantage.
You got the Saints winning?
I thought you were going a
What
different
would you
direction.
call
Me too.
it?
I thought we were going beignets.
Yeah, I thought you were going body parts, Kay.
No, what?
He's got that too.
Those are, I can't even decide if I want to see that game or Brady and Rodgers more. There's
like a
two
segment.
games I can't even imagine.
Incredible.
You got the
what
same